thing I want you to do is what we're going to do is we're going to set up an artboard in inches, and the artboard that I want you to work with in Photoshop is 6 inches by 6 inches, okay? So your photos don't necessarily have to be, I mean, they can be, they're gonna, some of them might come in really, really big, but we're gonna scale them down, all right? And the palette, the mode palette, is going to be grayscale. I want your posters to be done in grayscale, so discard any color. So all of the photographs that you have, including your portrait photographs, are in color, which is fine. So originally what I had you do was I had you take your photographs and then after grayscale them down and then alter them. In this case, what we can do is if I were, and you can use one of those photographs that you had already grayscaled, or I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to open up my 6x6 artboard, and I'm going to paste the image in. Now, it doesn't look like my image is there, but if I go to Image and Transform Scale, I see that my image is really, really huge, okay? So, unlike Illustrator, if I want to scale this image down, don't hold down your Shift key to constrain it. Because if you do, you're going to distort it. So not holding down your Shift key and clicking on the one of the anchor areas allows you to scale your image down without having to distort it. I'll hold my Shift key down, and with that Shift key again, it allows me to stretch it or distort it, and again, I don't want that, okay? You always want to make sure that your image is at 100% in terms of the proportional relationship of its original state. Okay, so far so good. And you'll notice that when I pasted it in, because my artboard is grayscale, that color image immediately comes in as grayscale, so I don't have to convert my original images that I'm going to put on. Okay? So the next thing I want to point out to you when you have something like this, and I think I want her about this scale, and I'm going to put her right here, and I do not like this, this rectangular edge on the white background. I think it's horrible, and I don't want that. As a matter of fact, what you're going to do is you're going to collage lots of images on top of each other, and I want the collage to look seamless, almost as if you were using scissors and cutting things out of magazines and pasting them, except this time you have the ability to size them and to alter their value scale and stuff. So when you have images, I don't want a scrapbook style of composition. And what I mean by that is like rectangle on top of rectangle on top of rectangle. We do not want that. So what we want to do is create a seamless composition that looks all like one, with different types of photographs that have been brought into it. And I have different photographs or different images that I'm going to be bringing into this composition to share with you, and different types of techniques that I'm going to also share with you, okay? So the next thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I have my layer palette selected, and the layer palette is really important because, as many of you might know, you have an eyeball where that layer can go away or stay, and then after you have a background here. And so every time I paste something into my composition, it adds it to a new layer. So I could move things around, I could play with them, I could compose them, I could rescale them, and have all these things on different layers. So working in layers is very important. So here's my problem. My problem is I really don't like this background, and I really want to just use the figure. Now, typically, I have had students that the first thing they're going to do is get that eraser tool and start erasing. I absolutely do not want you to do that. Okay, do not use the eraser tool. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to be able to properly silhouette an image, okay? And in doing so, what you're going to do is you're going to pick up your pen tool, which is right here, and you're going to create a path around the figure. And I'm going to do this pretty quickly, and you'll notice that how close up I am in terms of the magnification of the image, because what I'm doing is I'm clicking and dragging a Bezier point to be able to make a silhouette around the image. Now, some of you may not be real comfortable working with clicking and dragging, but clicking and dragging creates a line that is not geometric. In other words, I don't want you to click, 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 click because you have these hard edges. I want you to click and drag. I'm doing an Apple Z to undo, and then have to go back and redo. And you'll notice that what I'm doing is I'm setting a path around the figure. And again, I'm going to do this fairly quickly because there's a lot of stuff that I want to get through with you. And then when we have hair, I'm actually not going to, I'm going to generalize the hair area. And I'm not going to cover every strand. And you'll see why in just a little bit. So I'm going to generalize the hair and then blah, blah, right. And here, right, and here, and then here, and then down here. And then I'm going to go off of the photograph. So you see my path that I've created, but it's got to be a closed path. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click out here and then finish the path there. So now I have a complete path that's been finished, okay? Next thing, I'm going to go to my path tool, okay? Which is what this is, and you'll see that it says work path, which is what this is here, okay? Now, if I click here on this, I'm going to save the path, and I'm going to call this figure because it is a path of the figure, and tell it okay. So path 1 has changed into figure. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make selection and see what happens. Okay, what's going to happen is it's going to create a selection of that path. So it's going to, and what it's asking me is what kind of edge do I want? And the edge, do I want a hard edge of my line or do I want a soft edge? And remember, I generalized the hair, so I want a soft edge. If I do a hard edge, the number's going to be low, like 1 or 2. I have found in the years that I've been doing this, the best edge to work with is a feather radius of 4. You certainly, if you did, like a 12 radius, it becomes real sort of mystic, like a cloud around you, like, when your grandma wants a picture of you from prom and you've got it in that cloud, that's a big feather radius. A 4-pixel feather radius is just enough to be able to give me a soft enough edge, okay? So I'm going to do a 4-pixel radius, tell it okay, and now notice how the figure has been isolated, okay? But I don't want to do anything with the figure. What I want to do is I want to get rid of the background. So what I'm going to do is go to select and go to inverse. And now everything but the figure has been selected. Got it? So the background is, and now what I could do is I could delete the background. Now that feather radius that I talked about, watch what happens when I zoom up. Do you see how soft it becomes, that edge? So it's not like a hard scissor cut edge. And it's not that pixelated edge that you have been used to using the eraser tool. Got it? So you have to, this is one way of being able to silhouette an image and still be able to play with the background. Got it? So far so good? Okay. Next, I'm going to bring in another image and Command O and we're going to bring in an assault rifle. Okay. So I'm going to open this up in Photoshop, and then I'm going to select it all, and I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going to go over here to my composition and Command V, paste, and there it is. Now notice how, let me scale it down. And again, you go to Edit, Transform, Scale. Don't hold down your Shift key, just scale that puppy down. And we're going to place this, let's say we're going to place it here. Okay? Now, clearly, I don't like this white shape here. And you'll also notice, where is my layers palette? I don't know why I closed it. It came in as a new layer. Okay, and I'm going to call that layer, whoops, I'll call that layer assault or rifle. And I really don't want to silhouette, I mean, I can silhouette that rifle, but there's an easier way to do this. If I have that layer selected, and if I go up here to where it says normal and select multiply, watch what happens. Boom. The white multiplies into the background. Now the layer also becomes transparent, okay? But let's say I want to be able to still use it, and maybe, maybe I do want to layer it on there, or maybe I want to do something which is terribly violent, but something like this, but I don't have to worry about the background, okay? Let's say I want to do something like this, but then I want her in front. So all I need to do is click on that layer and bring her down underneath the figure, and look at that, it goes to the background. So I could play around with layers and move things around and stuff. So far, so good? Yes? Okay. Let's go get another image. So I'm going to do a Command O for open, and then I have another image here. A monkey. And I like this monkey. I always like working with monkeys. And so again, I want to bring this monkey in, but I want to be able to get rid of the background. And so what I'm going to do, I guess I could, again, select it all, copy it, and bring it into, I should point something out that's very important right now. And that is, my file is called Untitled. And that means I haven't saved this yet. So I want to be able to do a save as, and I'm going to call this Comp A and save it as a Photoshop file. Okay? So you're going to do Comp A, Comp B, Comp C, Comp D, a total of 4. All right? And so let's bring in our monkey, which again, wow, that's really cool. And the thing is that, you just never know what you're going to get. But, oh my God, that is so cool. I don't even know if I want to get rid of the background, because look at how that works. So I think I'm going to keep that. I like that. Now, the assault rifle, can we bring it in? Let me put it above the monkey. Maybe we can use it, maybe not. Maybe we could flip it. We could do lots of things with it. Okay, as a matter of fact, if I want to flip it to aim it at the monkey, go to transform and flip horizontal. There, it's flipped. And, there it is. I mean, horrible things we could say, we could do. But now I've got a really interesting composition here. Now I'm excited. Remember when I said about, and so look at this and go like, ooh, you know what? Everything's really in my face. It'd be nice if the monkey were in the background, wouldn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off certain layers. And selecting the monkey layer, I am going to adjust, guess what? The brightness and contrast. So I'm going to lower the opacity, or I'm going to lower the contrast of this. Actually, I'm going to make it lighter. and then see how that works. So I have a little bit better of a contrast, okay? And so I could do lots of things with it, or let me undo that. Or I could actually select the monkey and do an opacity, which will lighten it substantially. Just an opacity, okay? And then watch what happens here. The figure now pops forward, and the assault rifle pops forward. And the monkey becomes sort of a background image. So I could do lots of things with this. What's the matter? You're okay. Let me bring in one more image, and in here I thought it would be nice to be able to bring in downloads. Nope, not that. Oh, actually that might work nicely, but that's not what I was going to bring in. A TV set. Why? Why not, right? And so I'm going to open that up, and then what I'm going to do is cut out, and what I'm going to do is just sort of clean this up. So I'm going to get rid of that stuff there. I'm going to get rid of this stuff down here, and then I'm going to get rid of this stuff here, and then I'm going to select the TV here, just what I want, Command C. Then I'm going to go to my composition A, type V. Uh-oh, it's too big. That's okay. We're going to scale it. Again, edit, transform, scale. Don't hold down your shift key because I want the TV right in this area. And because I'm seeing the white behind it, obviously I'm going to use what Ed did, is multiply. Great, I've got the TV. Now, let's say I really don't want the monkey in the background. Let's say this is what I want, but I don't like that I'm seeing parts of the monkey on here. This is a little bit, there are lots of creative things you can do with Photoshop, a lot of things. One of the things that I would do if I didn't like the monkey, I would like the TV set there, but I don't like the monkey's mouth, around the TV set, then I'm going to select the monkey layer, and all I'm going to do is make now keep in mind that I'm on the monkey layer, so I'm going to take that area of the monkey photograph, whoops, and delete it. Oops, wrong, sorry. Take that area of the monkey, there it is, and delete it. And I just deleted the monkey. Watch this. If I turn all the layers, that's what I did to the monkey photograph. I just have it on a white background. And so I get to see the TV set as if it were a solid TV set. Fun, right? Okay. I'm going to stop recording.